Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Anizi with What If Naruto Was the Reincarnation of Madara and Hashirama Part 7. So guys, we last left off at Naruto and the Cloud along with the Rock and Mist villages, joining the Sound and Sand in destroying the Leaf village. Naruto destroyed Minato and his allies while also reviving Madara and Hashirama to break the Leaf village. He then dropped a meteor on them, so let's get started. I've decided to let you live for now, Minato. You and the survivors shall live in regret for ever crossing me, as your village has now perished. The leaf is no more. The stain on my grandfather's legacies have been removed, Naruto says. Naruto and the Kages then saw the survivors of Leaf glaring at Naruto. How could you destroy your own village, Oni-chan? Mito says. You took everything. First my ability to reproduce, then my pride by beating me and my future wife Hinata, and finally my dream to become Hokage by destroying our village, Memma says, charging at Naruto, who stood there as Madara came in between them and caught his fist. Don't you dare touch my grandson, you disgrace. I can't believe that you are part descendant of mine and Hashirama, Madara yelled, punching him in the face, making him bleed, and then proceeded to beat him and then stomp on his face. Stop it, Hinata yelled as she tried to rush towards Madara until Hashirama made a woods appear and trip her over. Naruto woke up to her. Oi ho, you're the one that hurt Yaku-chan and tried to force her to be your slave with that stupid bitch that you call her husband. I will never forgive you, he says as he reached for her eyes, yanking them out. He then grabbed some pepper and started to squeeze it on her eyes, making her burn. Ah, stop, she yelled, as Memma also pleaded for him to stop, but Naruto just slapped Memma in the face. As Naruto then grabbed the kunai and started stabbing her on her chakra points. You Hyugas really like hurting other people's chakra points. Let's see how you like it when you're hurt. Naruto then pulled out a hammer and started to beat her afterwards. Ow, stop. Naruto, stop this. As your mother, I demand you to stop, Krishna says. Naruto, if you don't stop this, I'll kill you, Minato says. You kill me? Are you mad? Naruto says. As when she was about to die, Naruto healed her, making her almost perfect. Be healed. You know, I got a perfect way to punish you. You wanted to use Yaku-chan as a breeding tool, right? So we'll do the same for you. The Cloud always wanted a Bakugan, and I'm not gonna force Yaku-chan to breed baby after baby. So let's take you, Naruto says as Ace smiles. Naruto, you won't take her, Minato yelled as Naruto kicked him in the balls. Krishna's chain came towards Naruto as he dodged it, grabbed the chains and wrapped it around Minato's neck, as he used his dream ability to make every leaf faint of chakra exhaustion. Naruto then grabbed Hinata and took her to the Cloud before muttering, you lot are so weak and pathetic. I can't believe that I actually thought of you as a threat, Naruto says. When I was a kid, he added on in his head, as the Kages then left to their villages. We now see Naruto in the Cloud as the Hokage, was in the tower looking at Naruto, who had tied up Hinata with him. He was aged up thanks to Naruto's dream ability. Naruto, not only did you win us the invasion and show that the Cloud is the strongest and that the Leaf is the weakest, but you also helped us to secure a Hyuga. That too, a Hyuga without the caged bird seal. Good work, my boy, A says. Thanks, right, Kage-sama. Now, let's go and take her to see her punishment, Naruto says, as Naruto took her to a prison where there were lots of men waiting for her, as the Raikage stepped up and says, oh, I'm gonna enjoy doing this, as he unzipped. Okay, so now we go into Naruto's point of view, who's now walking back to his mansion as he met up with Fu and Yaku. Yaku, who's cleaning the house. Oh, Naruto-kun, Yaku says, blushing. I saw what you did for me at the training exams through the live broadcast. Thank you, she says, as she shyly hugged him. Yaku-chan, you sweet and innocent. Those bastards tried to force you for power. I cannot let that stand. I would never let anyone innocent be forced to do anything that they don't like, and especially that disgusting village Leaf. I'll destroy them. Well, actually I've destroyed them. Now we can relax and you can live happy knowing that you're safe, Naruto says. So Naruto-kun, I have a question. I want to thank you by taking you out to eat, Yaku says, blushing. Naruto started blush as he went like, oh, of course, as Fu started to laugh, breaking the two lovers out of their daze. She then came up to Naruto and hugged him. You were so cool, big brother. The way you beat those bastard Hokages and his wife and his Sanins and then summon Madara and Hashirama GG to beat them, she said, as she considered Hashirama and Madara her grandfathers as well because Naruto's her brother. As Naruto then hugged her, suddenly the door opened to reveal Madara and Hashirama. So Naruto, this is your house and you must be Fu, our adopted granddaughter, since Naruto brought you into our family, Hashirama says. As Fu nodded, Hashirama runs and hugs her like the child he is, the man-child he is. She's so cute, Naruto, why aren't you this cute? Hashirama asked, as Naruto grunted something about dumbest and ungrateful senju. Madara was looking at Yaku. So you're my grandson's girlfriend, he asks. Yaku blushes before she glares at him. Yeah, and what about it? I'm not going to ask for approval. I only need approval for him, Yaku says. As Naruto was drinking something, Naruto then spat out when he heard her call him her boyfriend, or accept that he's her boyfriend. He spat out at Hashirama, who dodged it. Hey, watch it, Hashirama yelled, but chuckled as he saw Naruto was blushing, as Madara saw this and also smirked. I approve, Naruto, she's perfect. She's got power, beauty and brains, and she doesn't stand for people, not even if they're stronger than her, Madara says. Hey, who said you're stronger than me? Yaku says. Naruto's blush gets deeper as Naruto walks upstairs to take a bath. We made him leave, they all thought, laughing. Naruto then took Yaku out on some dates over the next few days, as he took her to eat to have something fun to do, and then finally he took her out to see the stars, as Naruto felt her hug him as she started to cuddle him. This is perfect, she says, as that was the last few words that she said before she slept or fell asleep. We now see Naruto and his grandfathers in the Raikage's office. Naruto, the Akatsuki, has begun their movements. A man claiming to be your grandfather, who is right in front of me, is orchestrating this movement, Raikage says. So Obito's finally making his moves. A, call the Kage meeting, Madara says. Find an A says, as he called for a full Kage meeting since the Leaf Village is no longer a village. Then we see Naruto and his grandfather walking as everyone was staring. Is that the legendary Madara and Hashirama walking with Lord Naruto? Shinobi was saying. I heard that he revived his grandfathers. Does his power know no limits? Naruto says. Amazing, no wonder he's so amazing. I want him, another fangirl said. Too bad Yaku-chan's got him, another one said. We now go to the Kage meeting, where Naruto and Yaku were Raikage's guards. The Raikage was currently explaining the plan that Madara had told them that Obito had the Eye of the Moon plan. Madara and Hashirama were hiding. The Raikage had also informed the villagers to bring their Jinchurikis because it wouldn't be safe for them to be out of the village with their Jinchurikis unprotected. As they were discussing this, the Akatsuki and Obito appeared. Oh, looky here, you've got our prizes ready for us. We'll be taking our Jinchurikis, the masked man known as Obito says. As the Akatsuki attacks, Itachi charges for Naruto, enraged. You'll pay for what you did to the Leaf Village, you dumbass, Itachi yelled. As a kunai hits him, pinning him to the wall. Another traitorous uchiha that survived, Madara says, as he walked out of the shadows. Madara, the Akatsuki yelled. What are you doing here, Obito yelled. Well, you see, Obito, my grandson revived me, and now, for trying to catch him, you will die, Madara says. As Pain then charges towards Naruto with a Shinra Tensei, but Naruto phases through it using his calm wind. Naruto uses his own Shinra Tensei, blowing all of the painless paths back, destroying them. Konon gets angry and sends a lot of paper kunais at Naruto, but he once again uses calm wind to phase through them, and then appears right in front of her as he slashes her head off. Obito, your group is weak, and you are a disgrace to my grandfather's teaching. How could someone being trained by my grandfather be so weak? You aren't even SS rank. What are you, a joke? Naruto says. How dare you? You're just a kid that your parents hate. Krishna and Minato actually cared about me before I left the village, unlike you. But they hated you, Obito says. Oh, so the weak disgrace is caring about another dead last disgrace. At least I graduated Rookie of the Year. But you were the worst of the worst to ever come. You couldn't even activate your Sharingan. In fact, Kakashi took your Sharingan and made a better name for it than you could have. Just like how out of both of us who was training with Madara, I'm the best and you're the worst. You will always be the worst, you'll always be a failure. It's no wonder you couldn't protect Rin. It's no wonder Rin loved Kakashi, Naruto says as Obito got angry. Don't you dare speak about Rin like that, Obito says. You know, my friend Dari doesn't have a girlfriend yet, so perhaps I should revive Rin. and used my Sharingan to age her up and then gift her to him. I mean, it is his birthday soon, Naruto says. He wasn't actually going to do this, he was just using this to make Obito get angry. How dare you, Obito yelled as he rushed towards Naruto, forgetting to activate his Kamui in rage, only to have his head sliced off by Naruto, as Naruto then used Wood Star to kill the rest of the members of Akatsuki, apart from Itachi, who Madara was dealing with. So now, Uchiha failure, you die, and after this, we're going to take away Sasuke's chakra, which means that the Uchiha clan, the traitorous version of the Uchiha clan, is dead, Madara says, cutting off Itachi's head. Well then, I guess the Akatsuki's taken care of, Mai says, as the cloud, apart from Naruto and his grandfathers, return to the village, as well as the other Kagis and the gods. But you see Naruto and his grandfathers going towards the Leaf survivors to see Leaf rebuilding themselves. Amaterasu, Naruto says, burning down the construction. What did you do? Naruto yelled. The Leaf is over, Hashirama says, as he uses wood-style deep forest emergence to turn the area into a forest. Our legacy will only be Naruto, not that failed project that we call the Leaf Village, Madara says. Now prepare to use your chakra, Naruto says, as he activates the dream ability, sealing away their chakra. Naruto and his grandfathers then teleport to the village, where Yaku, Yukito, Samui and Fu all hug him. Yo, what's up guys, Naruto says. So you want us to war against the Akatsuki, Yukito says. Yeah, we Jinchurikis are now safe from those degenerates that were hunting us, claiming that they're gonna get world peace somehow. As Naruto and Yaku left to hang out, time skip 5 years. Naruto was now 18 and was now marrying the love of his life, Yaku, as they went to the bed and enjoyed their time. Yaku was now 18 and was now marrying the love of her life, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Senju Uchiha, as Naruto took back the Namikaze name because he loved his grandmother that was Asuna Namikaze, as they went back to their bed to enjoy their time. Naruto and Yaku had a daughter called Naruko, who had so much power that she was born with 2 times the amount of chakra Naruto currently had, and she also had every single bloodline in existence. The cloud had prospered with Hinata giving so many Hyugas thanks to her dream ability that now she would obey anyone that came into her chambers asking for a good time. They heard that the Leaf survivors had struggled to get jobs as workers because their skill set wasn't made for simple life like working at stores or something like that. In fact, Menma and Hanabi suffered the most as they were kind of stupid and arrogant. Hanabi and Menma eventually got married, seeing as they both had the same spoiled attitude. They had a son called Menabi. Trash, also known as Sakura, and the emo Uchiha got married and had a daughter called Sadra. Lee and Mita got married and had a child called Metal Lee. The others had their canon children, apart from Ino, who joined Rock Lee's harem. Naruto had also unlocked Kaguya's seal using his dream ability so that she could be with her grandchildren or grandchild. Well, they were expecting another child now, but right now we see Kaguya playing with Naruto, and Kaguya changed for the better. She no longer saw the need for Zetsus, as Naruto's dream ability allowed it to make it so that the Otsutskis changed their mind. As we now see Naruto, who has just seen her dad come back from being the Raikage. Hey dad, can I ask you something? Naruto asks. Of course you can, my little angel, Naruto says. Can you please tell me about the story about how you beat the evil Leaf Village and brought world peace and prosperity, and also made an alliance with the Otsutskis, Naruto says. Fine, it all started like this, Naruto says as he began to explain the whole story that I've basically just told you. But guys, that's all for this series. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to punch that like button, subscribe, and comment down below. Peace. Peace. But guys, that's all for today.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.